Hi, I'm Chad Warner, founder of Optimize. Today I'm going to show you how to declutter a WordPress site. We're going to start by going into the posts. Now there are some obvious things to look for here, posts that are in the draft mode or they're um, set to private, something that's not published. Those could be candidates for removal. You can also delete posts that are published, but you want to be really careful about that because people could already be linking to those. You might be linking to them. They could be already indexed by Google and be showing up in search results. So if you are going to delete a post that's already published, make sure that you go and grab its URL. You can either copy the link address for view here, or you can actually open that in a new tab and grab the URL right there. And then you want to make sure that you create a redirect for that. And we have another post that shows how to do that. And you want to redirect that to whatever the next closest match is. So maybe you want to redirect to a post that's also about that topic, or a page, or the category archive, whatever makes sense. So you want to make sure that you do that if you're going to be deleting any of the posts. Pages, that's going to be similar. So again, here you can look for things like drafts that maybe you no longer need, and you can get rid of those. Again, if you're going to delete any of the published pages, or even switch them over to draft, then make sure that you're creating redirects for those as well. Now you can go into media, and here is another area that you want to be careful because it's not so easy to see where the media is being used on the site. So there are some clues. First, you're probably seeing things in grid view like this, and it's not as easy to tell here because you need to click the images in order to go and view some of that information. So I like to show this in list view. And here, what you can do is you can look for things like where the image has been uploaded to. Now, this will tell you where it was originally uploaded to, but it may have been removed from that page, after it was uploaded there, or it might even be used in other places. And so, kind of take this with a grain of salt. There are plugins, and I'll include them in the blog post for this video, that will offer to go through and tell you what you can safely remove. None of them have great reviews, so you want to be careful using any of those. So one way to manually do this, you can go and if you edit an image, it will show you the file URL here. So it'll show the full path to that image. And then what you can do is try to match that inside of the post or page that contains it. So here I'm going to go over to the post that contains that image, and I could see it like this. And if I go over to text, which will show me the HTML, now I can see here the path of the image. All right, and I see this, goals versus metrics. Now it doesn't match exactly because here I have some dimensions. Well, that's fine because what WordPress does is it creates different sizes of your images. And so you may see like a dash and then some dimensions there, and that's okay. But other than that, this does match the file URL that I have here, the goals dash versus dash metrics.jpg. So I can be confident that that image is being used there. So I would not want to delete that one from the library unless I first removed it from that post, because otherwise we're going to have a big blank spot there where that image is supposed to be. But if you go and look all the places where you think the image could be and it's not showing up in the HTML for any of those places, then it's probably safe to delete. All right, you can also go through your comments, and you're hopefully keeping up with these already. Hopefully pending says 0, but if there are any that are pending, go ahead and take care of them. And then you can also just go through any of the other ones, and if you need to change their status, go ahead and kind of clean those up. Themes, you can go get to through appearance and then themes. And there's really no need to keep any themes that you're not actively using. So you just want to be careful here about child themes. So right here I have what's called the Optimize theme, and that is a child of Genesis. And so if I go look at that here, it says here, this is a child theme of Genesis. So I do need to keep Genesis installed. So this is not an extra theme. This is actually required because it's the parent theme. But if I had other themes, 2016, 2015, those could definitely be removed. They're not in use. You can also go through plugins and go ahead, if you see any that are deactivated, those are pretty obvious, because if they're not active, then you probably don't need them and they are safe to delete. Even the ones that are active, go through them and make sure that you do still need them. If you don't, then it's just good to get rid of them. Now, you may have some other areas of the site, such as custom post types. What am I talking about? So on our site, we have Portfolio, which is a custom post type that we created. It's not a post, it's not a page, it's a portfolio item, what we call projects. And so this is another area you can go and use the same concepts as I talked about in the posts and pages. So for example, we've got a couple of drafts here. Now, if we no longer need these, we can just go ahead and delete those. Same thing I talked about before with redirects. You probably want to redirect these because there could be links coming to them from your own site or from other places on the web, from search engines. So a good idea to always create a redirect if you're going to be deleting any content that was previously published. So here's another way that you can go through and clean up some of that extra content from your site. So I'm going to have a lot more detail in the post for this video, but I wanted to just walk through it so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Sometimes that's easier to digest. So to learn more, you can visit us at optimwise.com.